Blog Talk Radio. Hi, this is Margo. This is Wednesday, December 21st, 2016, and I hope everyone is having a safe week this week. We've got a lot of stuff going on in the world. It's getting crazy out there, and one of the reasons I think it's getting so crazy is because technology is just moving forward at such a rapid pace with no moral compass. And this is why I'm doing this series on The Spike. It's a book that was published in 2001 by a science fiction author, Damien Broderick from Australia. The name of the book is called The Spike: How Our Lives Are Being Transformed by Rapidly Advancing Technologies. He's a futurist. His vision of the future was amazing, and it's all coming to pass. Just pretty much the way he had outlined the possibilities of how things could progress so rapidly once we reach the interface of artificial intelligence with humans. And he was thinking that it would happen around 2030 to 2050, or maybe sooner. I think it's already happened. So I'm reading this book to you, so we're going to pick up where we left off. If anyone would like to call in or discuss the issue, or if they've read the book and want to talk about it, the call-in number is 845-262-0773. And I'm talking about how our lives are changing with technology without a moral compass and without spiritual guidance. And that's the problem. All this stuff has just taken off. It's all left brain, no right brain. There's no spirituality. God's not part of it. I think that the what Richard Sauter describes as the machine is taken over. I do believe that, and I believe it's driven by a satanic force, and that's what's in charge of our world. I do believe the end times are close. I've been having dreams and visions of the end. I can go into that in another radio show. I really don't want to get into all of that right now. But the end is close, and you need to get right with God and Jesus. But I'm going to continue reading on this book. It's very important that we understand how we got where we are right now, and how it's overtaken us without us really knowing. But it's right in your face. So I'm going to continue. And if you want to see a picture of the chart of the spike, go to my YouTube channel, Margo's Healing Corner, and part 1, where I started reading from the book, and I did a video. I actually put, the cover of the book and the chart and everything in there, so you can see that. And it's also Damien Broderick has this book available on Amazon, and if you read the preview, it's in there. It's in that part too. Okay, so I'm going to pick up where I left off. The next part is called Living in the Future Right Now. This accelerating world of drastic change won't wait until, say, Star Trek's 24th century, let alone the year 3000. We can expect extraordinary disruptions within the next half-century. Many of those changes will probably start to impact well before that. By the end of the 21st century, there may well be no humans, as we recognize ourselves, left on the planet. I believe that, probably within the next 5 years. But paradoxically, nobody alive then will complain about that any more than we now bewail the loss of Neanderthals. That sounds rather tasteless, but I mean it literally. Many of us will still be here, but we won't be human any longer. Not the current model, anyway. Our children, and perhaps we as well, will be smarter. We already have experimental hints of how that might occur. In September 1999, molecular biologists at Princeton reported adding a gene to a strain of mice, elevating their production of NR2B protein. The improved brains of these Doogie mice use this extra NR2B to enhance brain receptors, helping the animals solve puzzles much faster, a kind of genetic turbo accelerator for mousy intelligence. Human brains, as it happens, use an almost identical protein. It is not far-fetched to suppose that we will learn to tweak or supplement it to increase our own effective intelligence or that of our children. Nor will we be the only high-level intelligences on the planet. By the close of the 21st century, there will be vast numbers of conscious but artificial minds on Earth. How we and our children get along with them as they move out of the labs and into the marketplace will determine the history of life in the solar system and maybe the universe. I'm not making this up. Dr. Hans Moravec, a robotics pioneer at Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, argues in Robot 1999 that we can expect machines equal to human brains within 40 years at the latest. Already, primitive robots operate at the level of spiders or lizards. Soon a robot kitten will be running about in Japan, driven by an artificial brain designed and built by Australian Dr. Hugo de Garis. True, it's a vast leap from lizard to monkey and then human, but computers are doubling in speed and memory every year. This is the hard bit to grasp. With that kind of annual doubling in power, you jump by a factor of 1,000 every decade. In 20 years, the same price, adjusted for inflation, will buy you a computer 1,000,000 times more powerful than your current model. That's Moore's Law, enunciated in 1965 by Gordon E. Moore, one of the founders of the Intel company, which now makes the Pentium chip for your personal computer. Moore originally surmised that the number of components on an integrated circuit, or IC, would double each year. If that were to happen, 65,000 transistors would dance on an IC within 10 years. That was a little ambitious, but turned out to be close to reality, a result nobody could have believed in 1965. Moore's conjecture changed as time passed. first slowing down to doubling every 2 years, then speeding back up to doubling every 18 months. It remained an astonishing prediction and an amazing phenomenon. Moore's law, although of course it isn't really anything like a law of nature, made a disarmingly simple algebra equation, the kind even someone uncomfortable with figures might be able to follow. Doubling goes as 2 raised to the power of n, and currently n is conjectured to equal 1.5 years. With this equation, you can work out how fast it takes to get to a millionfold increase, say, by following Moore's revised law through the following simple steps. Any bullet points? 2 to the 10th power equals roughly 1,000. 2 to the 20th power equals 1,000,000. And 2 to the 40th power equals 1,000 billion. If to be conservative, a single doubling happens during each 2-year period, then every 20 years we get 1,000 times as much computational power per dollar as we started with. At the start of the 2000s, the world's best, immensely expensive supercomputers performed several trillion operations a second. To emulate a human mind, Broderick estimates we'll need systems 100 times better. Advanced research machines might meet that benchmark within a decade or sooner, but it will take another 10 or 20 years for the comparable home machine at a notepad's price. Still around 2040, expect to own a computer with the brain power of a human being. And what will that be like? If software develops at the same pace, we will abruptly find ourselves in a world of alien minds as good as our own. Will we take our orders and quietly do our bidding? If they're designed right, maybe, but that's not the kicker. It's just the familiar world of third-rate sci-fi movies with clunky or sexy-voiced robots. The key to future change comes from what's called self-bootstrapping machines and programs that modify their own design, optimize their functioning, improve themselves in ways that limited human minds can't even start to understand. Dr. DeGaris calls these beings artilects, and even though he's building their predecessors, he admits he's scared stiff. By the end of the 21st century, computer maven Ray Kurzweil in The Age of Spiritual Machines in 1999, it was published, expects a merging of machines and humans, allowing us to shift consciousness from place to place. He's got an equally impressive track record as a leading software designer and specialist in voice-activated systems. His timeline for the future is even more hair-raising than Broderick's. In a decade, he tells us, expect desktop machines with the grunt of today's best supercomputers, 1 trillion operations a second. Forget keyboards. We'll speak to these machines, and they'll speak back in the guise of plausible personalities. By 2020, a Pentium equivalent will equal a human brain. And now the second great innovation kicks in, molecular nanotechnology, or MNT, building things by putting them together atom by atom. I call that minting. And the wonderful thing is that a mint will be able to replicate itself using common, cheap chemical feedstocks. Can you say 3D printing? Hello? Houses and cars will be compiled seamlessly out of diamond, carbon currently clogging the atmosphere, and sapphire, made out of aluminum, because they will be cheap, appropriate materials readily handled by mints. It's not clear, however, if one-size-fits-all universal assemblers will be feasible, at least in the near future. Some mints might be specialized to compile carbon compounds, others to piece together aluminum into sapphire, or tungsten carbide structures requiring assembly at a coarser level. These dedicated mints will operate at successively higher temperatures, each requiring a totally different chemistry, feedstock, tool chips, energy sources. Whether you can use one level of MNTing or minting to enable the next higher level, notes one commentator, remains a very open question. Until recently, all nanotechnology was purely theoretical. A Rand Corporation study declared cautiously, quote, extensive molecular manufacturing applications, if they become cost-effective, will probably not occur until well into the far term. However, some products benefiting from research into molecular manufacturing may be developed in the near term. As initial nanomachining, novel chemistry, and protein engineering or other biotechnologies are refined, initial products will likely focus on those that substitute for existing high-cost, lower-efficiency products. And that's what I was telling you. I'd first read about nanotechnology in an engineering journal, a mining journal, in fact. Going on, the engineering theory was good, but the evidence was thin. Finally, though, at the end of November 1999, came a definitive breakthrough, harbinger of things to come. Researchers at Cornell University announced in the journal Science they had successfully assembled molecules, one at a time, by chemically bonding carbon monoxide molecules to iron atoms. This is a long way from building a beefsteak sandwich in a mint the size of a microwave oven powered by solar cells on your roof, also made for practically nothing by a mint. But it's proof that the concept works. If that sounds like a magical world, consider Kurzweil's 2030. Now your desktop machine, except that you'll probably be wearing it, or it will be built into you, or you will be absorbed into it, holds the intelligence of 1,000 human brains. Machines are plainly people. It might be horrors that smart machines are debating whether, by comparison with their lucid and swift understanding, humans are people. We had better treat our mind children nicely, minds that good will find little difficulty solving problems that we are already on the verge of unlocking. Cancers will be cured, along with most other ills of the flesh. Aging and even routine death itself might become a thing of the past. In October 1999, Canada's Chromos Molecular Systems announced that an artificial chromosome inserted into mice embryos had been passed down with its useful extra genes to the next generation. And in November 1999, the journal Nature reported that Pier Giuseppe Pellicci at Milan's European Institute of Oncology had deactivated the P66 SHC gene in mice, which then lived 30% longer than their unaltered kin without making them sluggish. A drug-blocking P66 SHC in humans might have similar life-extending effect. So, folks, this is genetic altering, genetic modification of the genome of us that's been going on for a long time. Because if this was coming out in a journal in 1999, that means that the experiments had to have been going on years and years before that, before it comes out in a journal. And for it to come out in a journal and to be made public, that means the government and DARPA and Black Ops had this decades before that. So, folks, we're in trouble. This is way beyond us. This is what I'm saying. To continue. As well, our bodies will be suffused with swarms of medical and other nano-maintenance devices. The first of 3 magisterial volumes detailing how and why medical nanobots are in mid-range prospect appeared at the end of 1999 in Dr. Robert A. Freitas Jr.'s Nanomedicine. Nor will our brains remain unaltered. Many of us will surely adopt the prosthetic advantage of direct links to the global net and augmentation of our fallible memories and intellectual powers. This won't be a world of Mr. Spock emotionless logic. However, it is far likely that AIs, or artificial intelligences, will develop supple, nuanced emotions of their own for the same reason we do, to relate to people and for the sheer joy of it. The real future, in other words, has already started. Don't expect the simple, gaudy world of Babylon 5 or even existence. The third millennium will be very strange, much stranger than science. So, see how much time we have left. Got 7 minutes left. So this is what I'm saying. It's here. It's here. I was watching some YouTube video the other day, recently, and you know how they have ads on in the middle of the videos that are so annoying? And this one came on, and it was by Hitachi. And Hitachi was talking about how they're going to be merging AI with social networks for your own wonderful experience, and how, it will be so much better, and it will be seamless and all this stuff. AI with social networks. That's called Facebook, Twitter, AI. Okay, so who are you really interacting with? Who are really your friends on these social networks? Is it real or is it Memorex? That's what I want to know. Is it from the government? Who's it from? That's one of the reasons I don't do Facebook. I just don't trust it. I just don't do Facebook. Everybody else does, but I don't. I do use Twitter, but I don't follow it a lot. I just use it to tweet out my videos and stuff. So it's here. It's here. It's scary because there, like I said at the beginning, there's no moral compass. He doesn't even talk about morals here. He's obviously a transhumanist, which is fine. This is where we get the information from. But someone has to be a moral compass here. Otherwise, it will get hijacked. It's already hijacked by the dark side. And dark side is using technology interfaced with demonic entities. I've seen that in the work that I do. in removing energetic implants from people, alien implants, and demonic entities. A lot of times these demons are hooked into the implants, and if you don't get the demons out, the implants will come back. If you don't get the implant, if you just pray and make the demons leave, don't get rid of the implants, the demons will come back. So it's a twofer, and this is very scary. It's very scary. It's a scary world we're headed into. It's totally demonic. It's totally hell on earth. And just like I was saying in one of my other videos, how hell is manifesting here and why it's happening, because we're moving through 4D. 4D is an astral realm with a lot of demonic things going on. It's controlled by, I see it as Nazi technology, dark. I see a lot of dark UFOs, a lot of control panels, a lot of robots in that realm. I see a lot of disembodied spirits. I see ghosts. I see demons. I see things coming through dark portals from other realities that manifest in 4D. And as the Earth is moving through 4D to try to get to 5D, this stuff is manifesting here, right in front of our eyes. Our environment is changing in front of our eyes. I've been having that happen. Friends of mine have been having things happen. Things move around on their own, here to there. You don't see it. It's just missing and beams out. It's not in your reality. And then a few hours later, it'll come back. Or a few minutes later, it'll come back, but it'll be in a different place. I'm not the only one that this is happening to. I'm thinking the veils are thin and the timelines are overlapping. We're having dimensional shifts. We're having dimensional overlap, and time is very short. Time is very short. It's time to get right with God. It's time to ask Jesus to come into your heart and to help you. If you don't do this, if you're not already on board with Jesus and the light forces, if you're not already on board, it's almost too late. If not already too late, you know, maybe at the last second you can have a change of heart. But I'm thinking time is up. Time is up. I'm going to go ahead and end this. Otherwise, I've got a whole nother section to start called Walking into the Future. I'm going to do that next time. So I'm a hypnotist, holistic life coach, mind-body fitness coach, and spiritual healer. I work worldwide. If you're in North America, I work on the telephone with people. If you're not in North America, I work on Skype. My website is margoshealingcorner.com. I work in all different capacities to help free people from agendas, dark entities, get out implants, energetic imprints, emotional imprints, get them reconnected with their divine, and get them free. Get you free from the matrix. Get you ready to go, because we are getting out. We are ascending, and Mother Earth is ascending. She's waking up, and she's shaking everything off. So if you want to be on board with it, you got to get right with God, with Jesus. Get the evil out of your heart. Get the hatred out of your heart. Get the revenge out of your heart. Ask for forgiveness for what we've done to Mother Earth and to all of creation. We've killed it. It's going away. There's not going to be anything but a dead planet left. And this is the planet that the dark side is going to be getting, taking into their pocket reality, their pocket dimension that there will be no escape from. So, folks, that's my show for today. Don't let up on your prayers. Things are getting dark. Don't get distracted just because Christmas is coming up and shopping and everything. Don't let up on your focus. Pray for world peace. If we go into a nuclear war, it's not going to be good. It could very well happen. We're hanging on the edge, on the precipice. Pray for world peace and for our leaders to have clear minds and for things to happen for our highest good. And God bless everyone. Have a safe Christmas, safe holidays, safe travels. Try to keep your wits about you, because when you let down your guard is when Satan will attack. That's how it works. So keep prayed up. May the force be with you, and may you go in peace. God bless and goodbye.